Let me just point out, ladies and gents, Nick here
Yes.
got so excited by this game and one aspect of it, he had to send me a picture. Because this game tells you to get a notepad and pencil. And he got so excited by this idea that he went to go get a notepad and pencil and then had to take a pic, said, I got my notepad and pencil!
I did it, Dave. Look.
No, I say, look, I got it!
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Dave. What's wrong with me? Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Has this game fried your brain?
Yes, it completely has fried my brain. I don't know which room I'm in. I don't know where I am. I don't know why my father left me a puzzle to the 46th room. Uncle. See? I tell you, this brain has me working too hard. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what's up, what's down. I don't know who you are. I don't know what I'm doing.
I've been meaning to ask you, though, with your disorientation in full tilt. Do you feel like you're being watched?
You're just trying to trigger paranoia and my brain being in full tilt.
And disorientation. Yes, they go hand in hand.
I'm about to say, should I feel like I'm being watched? Is somebody in the room with me right now?
There could be.
I can't say no, hopefully not. Like I said, the voices in my
okay.
head are there, but no, I don't feel like...
I see, okay, so you're being heard, not watched.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. That's definitely a feeling I got while playing this week's game. I don't know about you.
Well, I understand that this week's game just had me confused a lot.
Confused is definitely the right word. How about you go ahead and tell us what game confused us?
Okay, ladies and gents, this week's game was, I'm sure you've all probably heard of it, I know people are talking about it online quite a lot at the moment, is Blueprints.
Hell yeah.
A roguelike puzzle game, which is fundamentally the first of its kind, I suppose. I've not really seen anything like this, right?
The only other game I could think of like this, I also looked up the genre. I couldn't find much besides the really, really, really dumb word Metroidvania. It's the worst word ever.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that existed, but that's funny.
Yeah. The Metroidvania with roguelike elements.
Yeah, I got you. But this is actually a puzzle game compared to like a Metroidvania with slight puzzle elements. This is
I got
a full-on puzzling game.
The only other one like this might be the Outer Wilds.
Oh, that's true. That did actually have a ton of puzzling aspects to it.
Yes, and it's also roguelike.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, it's a roguelike, meaning it's like different each time, right? It's randomly generated when you start the puzzle.
When you lose or die, you start from the very beginning with 0 to extremely little progress gained.
And this game was developed by a company called, I don't know, I'm going to say it wrong, Dogu Bomb or Dogu Bomb?
I think it's Dogu Bomb. I don't know.
Dogu Bomb. Which kind of came out of nowhere. They have a slight history. The gentleman who's I think owner or something, is a gentleman called Tonda Ross, and he has a history just working for doing development stuff for Netflix, Snickers, Magic the Gathering, ABC,
you told
NBC.
me this. I think you told me this.
He's been in the industry for a while and decided to make a game that's been stuck in his head for a while.
This feels like one of those cases where someone just scopes out the entire field before making their first move.
Yeah.
And it's a killer move.
And if you read further, this Tonda Ross guy, which is a really cool name, by the way.
That's a great name. That's so much better than Metroidvania.
Yeah, it sounds like a game that's, when a game randomly generates a name for you and you can't be bothered to name it. It's just Tonda Ross. It's a great name.
Yes.
He genuinely had this thought
Hell yeah.
He genuinely had this thought for ages, and it took him years, and he slowly developed it, and... he's a big fan of tabletop games and
you can sense it.
puzzle movies and the books he used to play back in the past in regards to you know the like I remember I used to play them, the fighting fantasy books where you turn to page 136 and you fight a goblin, then turn to page 479 to see what happens next.
I used to read some of those Goosebumps choose your own adventure stories. Yes, I remember those.
He used to do a lot of those as well, so that really did help fuel this game that he had stuck in his head.
Makes a lot of sense now, actually.
But another funny thing, during the development of this game, he actually was going to call it Bequest.
The Quest?
Bequest, as in to...
Bequest.
Yeah, I don't know what bequest... I think it's to ask something of someone, to bequest.
Oh, bequest. During
development...
that makes some sense. I think Blueprints is better.
During the development, somebody on Steam released a game called Bequest, so he was like, "Oh, god damn it!
oh, come on! I can't even call my game Bequest. Can't call it Angry Birds. Let's go with Blueprints."
That must have been so annoying. But then, of course, Blueprints, which of course is a nice play on words because the game itself uses blueprints, i.e. room designs and stuff like that. So it kind of worked out in the end, by all accounts.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that. Blueprints. Yes.
Exactly, it is. And this was published by a game called Raw Fury. Published by a company called Raw Fury.
They've done something else we've played, haven't they?
I went through the list of their games, and to be honest, I couldn't recognize any of them. But that doesn't mean much. They only publish indie games. All of them are just indie.
Raw Fury games.
Have a look. It's all indie games, which is kind of cool.
Now, and you're right. There's nothing here.
Yeah, right? But they've been doing it for 10 years.
Okay, they've got Routine, American Arcadia. Yeah, Sable. These are some good indie games. But we've not done any of these. No. Okay.
But they've been doing it for 10 years. They've been supporting the indie scene and helping them to release actual indie games, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
I love the idea there's companies out there doing that. So keep an eye on Raw Fury in the games they release, because this is a banger by all accounts.
This really is. I would really like to start talking about this game.
Okay. What did you... See, the narrative in this game is kind of a hard one to do, because it's kind of...
It is.
Not basic.
It's tough. It's very difficult to explain. Anyone who's played a game that delivers the story in an unconventional manner might understand what this game's trying to do. Think the Dark Souls item descriptions.
Yeah.
Like that. This could kind of be almost like that.
Yes, I got what you mean. Like the story told through item descriptions and just notes and stuff like that. Go on. Sorry.
But it asks you. It asks you to truly investigate if you'd like to know more. It's not gonna hand it to you on a silver platter. There you go. Yeah. Please, sir, may I have some more story? No, you need to investigate every room in this manner yourself if you want to figure out what is going on.
Yeah, no doubt. There is no hand holding. The only bit you get really at the beginning is that you play the role of a young boy. I don't know how old. Can you remember how old he was? What kind of young boy, right?
No, you know his name?
Simon P. Jones.
Hell yeah! Simon P. Jones, baby! Do you know where he got that name?
Oh, no, I don't.
I don't know if this is a spoiler. I hope it isn't. But this is your uncle's brother's name was Simon.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So he's named after who has been given. So this young boy has been given the keys to the Mount Holly estate.
Yep.
From his uncle Herbert S. Sinclair,
the Baron.
But he can only get the ownership of the estate if he can locate the 46th room, which is hidden in the estate somewhere. And if he fails to reach that room within the span of a single day, Simon must basically he won't be able to claim.
Yes, he forfeits his right to the entire estate.
It's very weird arrangement to get a house, but that's what it is.
But once you understand how this manor works, you realize,
Yes.
there is no other way to get to this room.
Oh, yes.
There is literally no other way. I like the way that Herbert put it. If he can find the 46th room in his 45-room estate, you inherit everything. Just
that's true.
that sentence is really good.
Yeah,
and it's much deeper than you think it is once you actually...
Oh, it is. It is. It sounds simple, and it's very board game premise, isn't it?
It is.
It sounds like a board game, but it's
This
a lot more than that.
I guarantee this is going to become a board game in a year or two.
Yes, agreed.
This is absolutely going to become a board game.
And again, like you said, a lot of the narrative also comes across when you pick up notes or when you find little tidbits, and you find employees that have been fired via notes, and you find the caretaker's been laid off and stuff like that. So you find these little bits that, just like most games or Dark Souls or Bioshock, you find these little bits that fill in the holes of the story as you go through the rooms and you try and solve the puzzles so that you fill in things.
I'd even argue it's not even filling in the holes, but this would be the entire story.
That's
right?
That's true.
Ever since that intro that explains the setting, explains the premise, who's Simon, who's Herbert. After that, what other story do you get besides these clues, these notes?
Well, you do slightly get a couple cutscenes, don't you? One when you go in the surveillance room.
Yes.
Kind of a cutscene. And I thought there was another cutscene, but I can't remember what it is now.
I got another one when you talk to... Is it Alzara?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you get another cutscene there. But yeah, it is... It's like the story is you piecing it together because it's Strix, and you're kind of like a little small detective, smart little kid. Your job is to... Part of piecing the story together is actually the progression through the rooms to find the 46th room, fundamentally.
I'd say the kid is... Simon is a conduit. We're the detectives, because you need to play some real detective work if you want to play this game.
You really, really do. It's sometimes... It feels great, sometimes feels frustrating, and sometimes just feels a little bit too luck-based. But anything else? Anything narratively you want to add?
I'd say that on a surface level, this just seems, as we said, like this kid inheriting this manor. So if you want to win the game, you get this big reward, but you need to finish this challenge first. Easy concept for a game. But by investigating these rooms, some of these rooms, you soon discover this isn't just about finding a hidden room. It's a big old story about politics and family drama and growing up, and it's even got some absurdism in there.
Yeah, no doubt, it really
which
does.
you would not suspect when you look at this game and even read the premise.
No, true. It's got that addictive nature that you actually look around for those notes, and even those rooms you don't want to go in, which we'll talk about later, you still build just to see if there is something new inside them, right? Mm-hmm. Those bloody red rooms, I hate those.
I've one final question before we move on to visuals.
Go on.
Who is the real main character of this game, Dave? It's not Simon, it's not Herbert. Who's the real main character?
Is this going to be one of those big thought-provoking questions? Who is the real...
Who is it?
I don't know. You got me. Who's the real character?
I would argue, and I think most people would, that the real main character of this game is the manor itself.
I was going to say, it's the manor itself. It's the house.
Right?
It's the rooms,
it's the Mount Holly estate. That's the main character of this game.
That's true. It's probably very true because it changes and it tells the story. It's true.
It does. How many permanent unlocks did you get?
How many what, sorry?
Permanent unlocks.
Oh, quite a few. I got that quite a lot. I can't say how many though. I didn't really note it down.
Okay. I think I got 3.
Yeah, mine was close to that, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Go on, continue. Anyway, sorry. Anything else narratively?
No, let's move on to visuals.
So what did you think of visuals?
You know what? I think it's so easy. It's so easy to dismiss the visuals in this game for low or even cheap.
Yeah.
If I look at some of these rooms, like that spare room, what is that? That's not a room. That's hardly even wallpaper. But so I can understand that it looks what?
It's the spare room, the white one.
Yes, with the ladder and the paint.
Yeah, that's right, with the paints. Yeah.
Right, yeah, but for the vast majority, this is the part that the players will be engaging with the most throughout their playthrough. You are going to be looking intently at every nook, every cranny, every corner, every surface. You're going to be looking and engaging with the visuals. It's low and cheap for a reason.
Yeah, it kind of, like I said, I wrote down here that the visual style weirdly still makes it feel like you're playing a board game, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's perfect.
Right, it does. Yes. It's not all hi-fi and beauty. It actually makes you feel like you're playing a board game because the graphics kind of make you feel like you're playing a board game. If you don't,
it does.
It's kind of got that drawn, cel-shaded aspect to it.
Every single room has a hidden chess piece, which conveys even more board gamey nature.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like if you were walking around a Clue or Cluedo board, like going into the library or the.
You're absolutely right.
Right, it does have that cool. It's ladies and gents. It's kind of like a drawn, cel-shaded aspect to each room and each character. So it's. A bedroom is a couple beds and a shelf and a teddy bear, and it's all got that cartoony drawn sketch to it. So it feels like you're playing a board game more than a real life, ultra modern, shiny. There's lighting, shadow effects to every room that you can look. So it does make you feel more immersed into the gameplay side of things. But like Nick was saying, it isn't breathtakingly nice. It's not like the best visually.
And it doesn't want to be.
No, and it's all in a shade of blue, which is also kind of everything's got a slight blue tint to everything, just because blue prints, which is
until it doesn't.
Oh yes, when the rooms change.
Yeah, when you start getting red, and if you get further in the story, you know what I mean.
And which is, again, another point of the gameplay. Some of the rooms are actually different colours, which is visually one of the key points of playing the game.
Right, yes, you're talking about the types.
Yes, the blue,
Yes,
is it orange
yes.
or yellow?
So,
blue, yellow.
If you've not played this, room types are categorized into colours. Green is usually like an outside room.
Yeah.
It has digging spots. Red is usually not a great room. You tend to avoid those. Blue would be regular. Orange would be transitory. What am I missing?
You got the special
Purple
rooms,
would be bedrooms.
Yeah. And then you got just the special rooms like the observatory and the.
Oh right, yes. Okay, you're right. What are those? Brown.
Yeah, let's call them brown.
The one white room, which would be the antechamber.
Yeah. Well, like I say, all the colours mean a certain thing in regards to planning your route to the 46th room. And you have to plan this very carefully, because if you get it wrong and you don't manage your things, again, this is where I felt dumb during the game. But visually, this is very important. You got to plan your room styles. You got to plan which, and again, later on, depending on how many blue rooms you have, or depending on how many green rooms you have, or if you got lots of red rooms, can help you or hinder you later on in the game.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of visual cue to how you play later is how you got your board set up.
Absolutely. I have been so messed by this game later in the day because I used a room or two that I shouldn't have at the start of the day.
Yeah, same. It's absolutely frustrating. So frustrating. I guess it's so annoying.
It is, but the thing is though, there's this tiny little aspect or element of this game that tries to convey that no room is a bad room, because any room could have a clue or a puzzle piece.
That's very true.
Right?
That is very
Even
true.
the lavatory, which I still have not figured out and is still just the most useless room I can think of.
I don't think
might have a clue later.
A lavatory. Yeah, very true. Very true.
I despise getting the lavatory. I don't understand why it's there.
I'll be honest, I didn't fully work out the junction box yet either. I know there was something I could switch on the lights. I've gone to the dark room. I've been able to change all the lights purple and do the one light white.
White, same.
I don't know why. I don't know what it did. I really don't know how to get the last switch to do something.
All I know is that if I can get that damned email, I can finally understand why. But no, I need to get clues to get into Herbert's email.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, ladies and gents. It's frustrating because I always...
It is. Play this game and you'll understand. I think, 12 hours deep in this game. I still feel like I'm scratching the surface.
Yeah, same. I did that thing. I'm an idiot to some degree. I got all the way. I was doing great. I got all the way. I had 35 steps left. I'm all the way at the end. I've lined up my door to the antechamber. I'm thinking, yes, I'm at the antechamber.
Finally.
This is it. I'm going to do it. Put the last room down. Go to the doorway. And then there's just nothing.
Nothing.
There's no door there. There's no door there.
Right. No,
I'm like,
nothing.
what the hell? What am I supposed to... There's no door. And I'm like, what? Oh, so I got to work out some special mechanism to even just put a door there at the antechamber?
Did you open it eventually?
No, not yet.
Oh, so frustrating.
I'm still trying to work out how the hell.
My final run before we're recording this, I finally got one of those doors to open.
No ways.
Yes, and it was on the side of the manor that I got locked up from.
Oh yeah, being locked off. Yeah, that's a new frustration.
It just sucks.
But anyway, anything else?
Visuals. Sorry. I would say that the simple act of looking at things, right? Sure, that's still it. I wouldn't. There's an argument that looking at things could be or could not be interacting with them, but by investigating the rooms, that is what this game is all about.
Very true.
So the visuals is important, but that's what the majority of this game is all about. You investigating these rooms, and I think it's on a level that no other game does.
No, agreed. It's certainly not a commonplace thing in regards to just exploring the house and looking around. And did you feel that the pictures of people were kind of creepy as hell? I know it's supposed to be, but
the pictures of people,
the faces on the photographs, and
in the dark room.
Not just the dark room. There's a room where there's a painting of what I can only presume is a Herbert S.
the drawing room
or something. Yeah, and their faces are always directly looking at you. They're not like looking to the side or to the right.
I didn't even notice.
Kind of like, you remember with the Wii, whenever you played baseball and they'd catch the ball and then they
look at the camera, break the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. They stare at you, pulling you
I
like
haven't
a
thought about
bitch
that
to your
in
eyes.
ages.
If you look at all the pictures, they look kind of all directly at you, and I don't know if that's supposed to creep you out or not. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Probably. I mean, now if I'm going to look at them, yes.
I don't know if this game is supposed to be slightly scary or not, but I'm slightly scared by it. I don't.
That's I knew it. I knew it. After the third day, I thought to myself, Dave's gonna think this is a bit creepy.
I was wondering if this was a horror game. I was like, don't tell me this is gonna be like, I'm gonna sort out and there's a Five Nights at Freddy's element or something gonna come into play now.
Or you build a room on the edge of the estate and you turn around and someone just ducks from the mirror, the window.
I would hate that.
Yes, I would immediately uninstall this game.
I would hate if this was just full of jump scares. I would just be like, oh no,
destroy my security and vulnerability.
Yeah, it really would. But luckily it doesn't, ladies and gents. Don't worry, at least it doesn't yet.
No,
as far as I've gotten.
Not yet. There is one room that creeped me out though.
Oh, which one?
The foundation.
Which one's that? Have I been there? Oh, I might not have been there.
The foundation creeped me out because it introduced a couple of elements that I don't want to spoil.
Okay, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's true. There was a lot of spoiler rooms by all accounts.
Because I was in this room and I kept thinking, I really don't want to be in this room.
Wow, that sounds creepy as hell. I don't think I've been in a room which I really don't want to be in.
It sucked.
Well, anyway, anything visually, like I say, this game...
No, I just think I think it's very cool that the game hides real game-changing clues in plain sight. In a room full of nonsense and just nothing, they would hide a clue for you to interact with. And true. You need to find this in most of these rooms. Like, what's the one room? The storeroom. Did you find the clue in the storeroom? It has a key, a gem, and a coin.
Yeah, I know the key, the gem, and the coin bit.
There's a clue in there that's just...
I didn't.
It's just there for you to look at, and I only found it after I was in that room for the 10th time.
God damn it. All I found, like I said, the notes. I know the safe key, I know the safe pin. I've got all these other things. I know where I'm supposed to...
You got the safe pin?
I've got the safe pin.
No!
We should combine.
We should combine our knowledge.
Our knowledge and finally beat the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, beware. Dave and I will be unlocking the the much anticipated sequel to Knowledge. Knowledge 2.
That's it. Knowledge squared. Oh yeah, sorry, we lost yet. I found that's a good thing. I didn't even know, like you said, I didn't even know there was a clue in the storeroom. And
right, but doesn't this make you feel like this could be one of those games where you just talk about it on the playground and everyone's just interchanging secrets?
Yeah, agreed. This is kind of, it is that
days.
thing. It is that kind of thing like, oh, well, I got this. I've got this. Now if we could share it and then we could do this and this. Yeah, that is kind of cool. And again, the visuals makes it feel like a board game, and that's...
It does.
Don't think I've ever had that in any video game I've ever played in the past, which is kind of cool.
This game is special.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anything audio then, Mr. Audio Man?
So, Audio Man. The audio in this game is very minimal.
Yes, I thought so too, yeah.
It's just minimal. There are hardly any tracks, right?
That's what I thought.
Throughout an in-game day, you might hear 2 or 3 tracks maximum. But these tracks are long, and I don't know if you've noticed, they're deceptively made.
How so?
Because they employ the same musical devices that Stellaris has. Remember, I spoke about Stellaris' soundtrack, that the music is made by the composer for that game specifically because it needs to make you focus.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The strategy aspect and stuff like that. So you need to focus.
Blueprints, I think, is doing the exact same. But
which would make sense.
Yes. But it also conveys a feeling of loneliness without inducing fear. That's very specific, but it's very, very true and super hard to pull off.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you're right. That weird feeling that being in a house alone normally would give you a huge amount of fear and anxiety.
It would. I would get paranoid instantly.
Yeah. But to do music to stop that paranoia and so that you can feel safe whilst thinking, right? Yeah, that would be a hard bit of music to pull off.
It blows my mind how music is able to convey emotions as a partner experience while you're playing something like a game or reading a book.
Yeah, no,
music is able to change the atmosphere entirely. For here the music makes me concentrate with and feel lonely without being scared.
Yeah, and being pressured by the scary nature of the game and stuff like that. No, that's interesting. I'm so glad you've got this section because I've written 2 notes about audio because I'm like, there is a soundtrack, but it's not really much there, and it's in it, and it's kind of, I don't really notice it. It's kind of, is it jazz or blues? I don't really know what kind of style you'd call it.
What? Jazz or blues? No.
What? Okay, if you were to call it a style, what is it?
Ambiance.
It's just ambiance music. It's like lift music, but just different. Longer.
No, I wouldn't even call it lift music. It's just it's in simple terms, I'm imagining just this extremely well accomplished composer in the studio with his headphones on and a synth, and is holding down the note for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And
yeah.
then the next chord for 10 more seconds.
Wow, this is pure composition then. It was two guys. They're actually releasing the album, by the way. I don't know. I can't remember their names. I went into a bit of a dive yesterday, but they're actually releasing the album for Blueprints. They haven't finished all the songs yet, supposedly, but it was two gentlemen. I forget the name of the band.
That's great. That's excellent. I'm not surprised, because sometimes the music is able to convey emotions, the gameplay or the visuals cannot, or the music can alter the visuals and gameplay, the atmosphere entirely on its own. And I think that's what they managed here.
Like the atmosphere when you went in the surveillance room for the first time. That was a big moment because it felt creepy. You were doing puzzles. Puzzles was fun, and then boom, you've walked into this room and the camera has changed and it's turned into a cutscene, and you're like, whoa.
And Simon is slowly walking forward.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's creepy and strange, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I still think the security room is one of the most useful rooms.
It is, but I still haven't fully worked it out. It is a useful room, but I still haven't worked it out.
I feel like that with all of these rooms. I still don't entirely think I know what's going on.
Because I know that red memos, one of them's true and blue memos is a lie or something. It says
red memos are lies, blue memos are true, which is also just another slight nod to, I think, the blueprints and the red prints and all of the politics going on.
Do you think it's a nod to the Matrix too? The red and blue pill?
Oh.
So it just dawned on me now. Do you think the one's the true pill, one's the go back to being a battery? So just when you just said red and blue, I just thought that out.
This game goes deep. This game goes deeper than I thought.
It could really be that deep.
There's some really good allegory here.
And the voice, there's a little bit of voice acting at the beginning telling you the premise. It's okay. It's not remarkable. It is what it is. Old.
I thought the writing was good, but the voice acting was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a fun little premise to get you started and engaged.
Exactly. It just sets up the game and the premise.
And that's about it.
That's okay. So that's what it's supposed to do. That's fine.
Exactly. Now it's the big one.
The big one.
The gameplay.
Right. So, I think the gameplay for Blueprints... No, not I think. I know the gameplay for Blueprints is going to be very divisive.
Yes, that's true. I suppose so. Is it really that divisive? I actually haven't looked at it. I loved it. I'm pretty sure you loved it.
Of course you loved it, but I mean, give it to someone who... I don't say don't understand puzzle games, but...
it's not their thing, right? Yeah.
It's not their thing. They don't have the patience. This is for a niche group, I would say. Okay, divisive is not the right word, but this is very clearly for a very niche target audience.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's a better way to put it. Sorry.
That's true. If you're into your Call of Duties or your God of Wars and stuff like
or
that,
your Fortnite.
This isn't entirely your type of game.
You try it.
Yes, you would.
But
let me just point out, ladies and gents, Nick here got so excited by this game, and one aspect of it, he had to send me a picture. Because this game tells you to get a notepad and pencil. And he got so excited by this idea that he went to go get a notepad and pencil and then had to take a pic, said, I got my notepad and pencil!
I did it, Dave, look!
No, I say, look, I got it! Now, ladies and gents, Nick's a big D&D fan. He loves his tabletops and his notepads and his writing downs. And don't get me wrong, I got a notepad. I tried to brute force it, I don't need a notepad and pencil. I'll just remember everything because I've got such a great memory, don't I?
Bad.
That didn't work. It didn't work. I felt like I forgot everything. But this game does, again, for the same board game kind of aesthetic side of it, requires you to have a notepad and pencil because...
Absolutely. You cannot play this game without your journal and pen. You cannot.
Because it does not hold your hand. It does not write down these things for you or anything like that.
It'll just drop this one tiny insignificant clue here.
Yep.
And then 7 hours later, it's going to ask you for that clue. Otherwise, sorry, moments passed.
Yeah, and you can't go back because you have limited amount of steps to go anywhere. And so you have to
and all the rooms are RNG.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's right. It's
shit
crazy.
out of luck. Sorry, bye. Get your notepad, get your pen, just write this down. Don't be lazy.
Exactly. So it's a hard one. I was trying to explain to ladies and gents how this game even works.
It is.
It's so you kind of have a 45 a grid of 9x5, so 45 tiles in total.
Yes.
You go in at the entrance, and then you have to try to make it to the a tile that takes you to the 46th floor, but you have only 50 steps that you can take, and that's per traveling through one square. But then you also have to manage keys that open doors and chests. You have to manage your food that can increase the amount of steps you have.
Correct.
And you have to manage gems, which help unlock special rooms that you'll need to help unlock hints and mechanisms to help get to the antechamber in the 45 grid.
My brain's hurting from you
trying
to explain this. You're absolutely right, but hearing it like
that... It is, exactly. It's near impossible to describe to someone and then go, oh yeah, that sounds great.
Fun.
It doesn't.
Fun.
It doesn't. It sounds like schoolwork or something like that. Like a train leaves at 2 and another train leaves at 5.
For a lot of people, this would be schoolwork.
Yes, but it plays a lot more fun than it reads, or someone can describe to you what it is. It does play quite smooth, and it is actually quite easy to pick up and kind of follow. After a few runs, you're never going to get it when you start getting in, but after a few runs, you kind of get it. I
suspect there's going to be a ton of people after the third time they said, I can't do it.
Yes, that's true. Especially, like, being locked out with the key thing and the doors becoming more locked as you get closest to the antechamber thing. That is so frustrating. I lose my mind when that happens. But then that's the RNG to some degree. The RNG in this can be a bit a killer.
It is a bit finicky. Really... I read on Reddit some people complaining about the RNG. And I kind of get it because I would want... It's not like I can decide... Well, you draft 3 and then you decide from those 3. But those 3 that you're being given are complete RNG.
Yes, yes, true.
Well,
but then there's aspects. How many days are you on? Sorry, I have to ask. How many days are you on?
I think last night I finished my 9th day.
Oh wow! Jeez, you must be either doing better than me. I'm at least on my 12th or 17th day.
No, but I mean, I'm spending an hour and a half per run.
Oh wow! Are you properly like scanning each room, like 10 minutes a room?
Absolutely, yes.
I'm more speed running this bad boy.
No, I get it.
I scanned the rooms. I've scanned the rooms and I've picked up all things. I know stuff. I don't know enough yet.
Oh, of course you would. I mean, on day 12, after loads of hours, you would know stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if you know more stuff than I do.
Yeah, that's just.
But I've filled pages and pages and pages of.
Have you really?
Yes, and I don't even think all of them are that relevant. It could just be. Yes, the bed frame is purple.
You've been enjoying yourself. You've been like, oh, what if this is important? Let me draw this. That's.
With the 12th window from the right being open, that means the.
I dug some nails from the ground. It says it's useless, but what if it's lying? I've got nails.
I legitimately wrote down something from a red card and even put in parentheses false with the question mark.
Is it maybe not?
Maybe this is definitely false, but is it?
That's true. It's game. You never know. Maybe it's all lies. That's true.
I think I do have some useless junk.
Agreed. And again, what I like about this game, sometimes you do get things that you don't expect. Like, only the other day, I got the key to the secret garden. And then I was like...
The what?
There's a secret garden? Why did I not know there's a secret garden?
Did you say
a key to the secret garden.
There's a secret garden?
Yeah, I never even come across a secret garden. And you can only use that key on the secret garden door. And I'm like...
And that's
What?
the only way you get in.
Yes, getting the key is the only way to get to the secret garden.
Okay, Blueprints. Me and you.
And there's a room with 7 doors, which I
got
like,
those.
oh,
I got those. Yes, and
I thought
all
that's-
7 are locked.
yeah, and I thought, well, that's handy. So I went 7 doors. I've got a key. Perfect. Went to unlock the door, and it's just a wall behind it.
Yep.
I'm
That's
like,
how it
what?
goes. You absolutely need the lockpick for that. The grand
Yes.
hallway.
I'm like, what is going on? And then, of
Yep.
course, I had to start a new day because I'd run out of keys.
Yep.
But this game, again, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we're frustrated, and it is frustrating. But each time I do start another day, and I do go for another run, because every little tidbit just gets me a little bit closer to trying to work out, why have I got this? Why have I got that? Where the hell is the safe room? Because for some reason, in their picture, they wrapped the safe underneath the Christmas tree, which is a really strange thing to wrap up, in my opinion. But anyway, like somebody spent the time to wrap a safe, which I thought was slightly odd. But have you been? The magnifying glass was handy. I haven't found out what you can combine items, right? I combined a battery with a lever handle, and I don't know what that's for.
I would probably say the biggest element of the gameplay here would be drafting and picking rooms as you progress through the estate. And second to that would be solving puzzles. It's definitely not what you would be doing most of the time. Most of the time you're walking around investigating, but the most important part of the gameplay would be drafting and picking rooms.
Yes, it's a puzzle mechanic in its own right? Because you got to draft the right room and the right doors to fit the direction you're going, right?
Yes, and get all the right items, get all the right elements. So it's extremely influential to your run.
Mm-hmm. It can really screw you up if you do it wrong. It happened to me a number of times.
But I don't think besides drafting rooms and solving puzzles, there are any other gameplay mechanics?
Not really. You got the couple parlor games, which are kind of fun. The mathematical dartboard thing that was fun. It took me a while to work it out.
Same. I kept thinking it has to be something to do with the snooker table balls.
Yes, that's exactly what I
Really?
kept looking. I wrote down those balls and the numbers on them, and I went to the dartboard and I did the same thing, thinking those balls must be in relation to the dartboard. And I was like, but they're not. They're not in the slightest. It took me a while just to realise, the addition, the subtraction and stuff like that. It's just maths. But yeah, I was there for ages thinking, what the hell is going on? Why am I not smart enough? Yeah, go on.
And the parlor game?
The parlor game with the boxes was fairly simple. That's your standard who's lying, who's telling the truth type thing.
Yes.
That one's fairly simple. I always liked
Did you ever lose one of those?
I lost it once because I wasn't listening. I forgot that.
Same.
Two were telling
I lost
the truth
it
or
once
2 were telling the lie.
because I'm dumb.
Another interesting thing. Did you know that the drafting is kind of like a double entendre?
Oh no! Don't do this again. You did this with the name.
Yeah, because drafting is, of course, what you call in technical drawing or
yes.
For
The first draft or something.
But I think in a lot of the card games or I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons or rolling, it's called drafting when you pull your cards or your something like that. When you play games, you draft your hand. It's
really.
Yeah, it's supposed to be both selection of the room from around, and then the idea of drawing. It's to draft is to pull your selection of something in a lot of board games.
Oh wow!
And then to
I
draft,
always
of
thought
course,
you
is to
draw
draw
your hand from a deck.
It's not just. It isn't. I know it's not. I don't mean it's like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It's something like a proper tabletop game. I'm not. I don't think. I don't. I'm trying. My mind is going blank, but I know they use the word drafting. Your cards or drafting your hand in this regard. It isn't like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. So again, it's a double meaning in regards to drafting as in drawing a room and then drafting as in a tabletop term,
yes.
I believe. in
Yes.
regards to playing these games, which is kind of
This
cool.
is-
This guy put some real effort into this.
He really did. I can
it's paying
completely
off.
understand.
It really is paying off. This game is popping off to some degree on the
Yeah.
internet.
No,
and
it's
stuff like
great. I can absolutely see this getting Indie of the Year at the Game Awards.
that. Oh yes, I hope so too, because this game took him ages. He thought this game was going to take him like a year to do and finish. It took him like 4. With a lot of people's help. This took him a long time, and to do it properly and stuff like that. Kudos to him.
It's properly done. Good on Dogubom.
Yes, it really, and again, it's very strange. The gameplay is like, did you go outside? Have you been outside?
I did. I went outside.
Yeah.
That's where 3 of my permanent unlocks are outside.
So you did the garage with the car.
I did. That's right.
Have you used the car keys in the car?
I've not.
You
haven't?
I've never been able to.
It just
get the car
feels like
started.
so many pieces need to fall in place.
Yes, that's the RNG.
Right?
That's the thing
Like trying to connect the boiler room to the laboratory.
Yes, true. That's one thing I still got to do. But I just realised when I get the keys, I should give the keys into the check room, shouldn't I? You know, you can give one item to the check room so that then...
the code check room. That is
the code check room.
That's smart.
It's like,
that is smart.
I saved that for this episode so I could come across smarter
that's
than
smart. You get the garage and you've already given it power.
Yes,
so
exactly.
now, instead of just relying on the RNG, all you need to do is draft the code check room.
That's right. But again, that is RNG, which
That
is unfortunate.
That is still RNG, albeit a bit more in your favor.
And then what would happen? See, this is what the game does, ladies and gents.
I don't know.
You have this one little string you follow and pull, and then one thing happens, and then that gives you another string, a thing to uncover. So then you think, oh, now I need to go to that room, but I haven't drafted that room yet, so another day turns over, so then you want to do it again. It is very cleverly made. It is.
Yes. And if you're into this type of clue finding, puzzle solving mechanic, this is going to scratch an itch that you've had for years, I think.
Even it's scratching an itch you didn't even know you had. This is a game I probably wouldn't have played if again the list didn't tell us to play it. This game was...
Oh, thank you, almighty list. All hail the list. Yes. Please, more good stuff.
Yeah, please. No more Digimon. Anything else gameplay wise you want to say?
I think the only things I do not like about this would be the RNG feels like a bit too much.
Sometimes it is a little too hard, and you can get 7 rooms in, and then all of a sudden you got no doors that turn left, and so you're just screwed. On. Yeah, that's right.
And I despise the word Metroidvania.
So do I. You brought that into my realm. That's your fault now.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't know that
I
before
apologize
this podcast.
profusely.
Yeah,
I like the genre. These games are good. It's this, Outer Wilds, Return of the Obra Dinn, and more. I don't know.
I'm sure there's plenty more coming.
Yes, but it's just the dumbest name. Jeez.
It is. Really strange way of calling it. Okay, should we jump over to performance then? Any problems performance-wise?
We could.
Oh no, but you don't want to.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
It's true. It's true.
Did you get any issues?
No, not at all. Not the slightest.
No, nor have I. Though, I must say, we did play this on the PlayStation 5 because it was part of PS Plus this month. If you have PS Plus and a PlayStation, you should at least try this.
Agreed. Give it a go. Yeah, there's no reason not to.
I did not get any issues. I think because this game, I wouldn't call it lightweight. No, you know what? Let's call it lightweight. But
it's not going to tax your PlayStation in any way. It's not like,
nor your computer.
No,
the
exactly.
visual style's basic. There's no real big flashy. What's it called? Not RGB. Particles flying all over the place.
Yes, exactly.
Big action set pieces. You need to get 3 set pieces per second.
Yeah.
None of those.
No, this is just a simple, nice, hand-drawn type thing.
Yes.
It works perfectly fine. If it crashes,
you're
then,
just walking through a puzzle mansion.
Yeah, thank God they had a running button as well. Jeez.
What?
It took me a while to find the running button because he's a slow walker. Jeez. I was like, do you know there's a running button, right?
No, I refuse. I'm not. No. Are you telling me I've been walking out of choice this whole time?
I figured how long it takes you to look through a room. I thought walking would be your option. Like, I'm not running. I've got to look at every nook and cranny in this room.
No.
Yeah, you can run.
Dave, there's a run button.
There is, because running back through your rooms takes freaking ages if you're just walking.
It does, I know!
It does. It takes ages, jeez. Yeah, you can run it.
I needed to sometimes move 20 rooms over to get to where I need to be. And I did that while walking out of choice?
Yeah, you just L2 toggles your run on.
Come on!
That's funny.
Okay, now I know.
Okay, and value for money. See, this is the one that's
No, I now have a performance issue.
because it doesn't auto run you.
Because it doesn't tell me.
Yeah, it's true. They don't really tell you the control scheme, do they, by all accounts?
Anyway, my fault, I guess.
Value for money. What do you
Value
think?
for money. This one's tricky. So,
you were nice
on the one end, I'm guessing this is the end you're on.
Yeah.
Once you solve this with these puzzles, once you finish the game, once you know what's going on, that's it. 0 replay value.
Yeah, that's what gets me. Yep.
0 replay value. You've done it. Good job.
Yeah.
$20 spent. Or, I don't know, $40 spent. How much is this?
Between 20 and 30, give or take.
Okay. 25, 30, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I immediately knew that's where you were going to be.
Yeah, it really is. Yep.
But I still think the value you get from the game isn't necessarily mileage.
I give you, yeah. I got you.
You even said earlier, this scratches an itch you didn't even know you had.
Very true.
Is there value in that?
There is value in that. But it's like, how many board games do people own because they know the end of it, or they, you just kept it in the cupboard because you know what the end is and you know how to play it now and you know how to, it's not hard for you to win anymore, right? It's
yes.
And this feels like one of those games. It is a board game and it's fun to play, and but like you said, once you get it and you've worked it out, even the achievements are kind of. One of the achievements is get to the 46th chamber in 1 day.
That's just the game.
In the first game. But that's the only way you can do that is by completing it and knowing all the details, right?
Okay.
So even the achievements are based on the fact that, you just know everything, so here's a few so that you can just do these quick things. It's just there is zero
I get what you mean. You can have as many keys, as many gems, as many coins as you want. The real currency of this game is knowledge.
Yes, and the discovery of it and doing it.
Once you've figured out the secrets, you can use them to your advantage.
Yes.
That's the only real currency in this game, knowledge.
And once you've done that, to me, it's kind of a dead fish. Like,
I get that, but while this fish was alive,
it's a good fish.
It's a good fish.
It's a big fish. It's a big shiny rainbow fish. But
this fish might not have legs.
Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. You're not wrong. It's a Magikarp.
But it's tasty.
No, it's a Magikarp. It might evolve to like a Gyarados whilst you're playing it, but it's still it's just. I'm not beating down. It just, you play this, you don't play it again. And I can't find much more value.
And I'm not
trying
trying to disagree with you because you're right. You're right. But I think we're on opposite ends of this when it comes to these types of games. Sure, you're right. No, once you're done with this game, you're done. But damn, that initial 10 or 15 hours while you're just salivating over this game.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
That is worth money. I agree. That is worth money. That's, to be honest, that's why I did give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not scoring this like a 1 or a 2 or 3 or something like that. So I did give it a 5
right,
because I agree there is monetary or score point value to that feeling. You're right.
Correct.
But I can't give it higher than that because there is... Unless, hopefully one day they may give
no, you'd be disingenuous if you scored it higher than that.
Yeah, if they give DLC or like Lost Shipwreck or Insane Asylum or Prison with more stuff, I'm definitely coming back. So that, this game...
Do you think they would? Like just surprise, there's a second story.
That would be cool. I think I'd come back. I'm sure other players would most certainly come back because...
Would it not make sense to take what Dogomom learned from this and just make a new game?
I can understand wanting to because, like I said, if you spent 5 years making this, there is an aspect of it where you just want to make something new. You don't want to make this... Because this is hard. Making this game would have been hard. Those puzzles and making everything work and click and make it fluid and stuff is really hard to do.
Yeah, and trying to fill holes. Can you imagine how defeated they must have felt if a game tester came to them and said, "Oh, I found a loophole," and finished your game in 2 seconds?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that must be demoralizing. Exactly right. Which I did find one little hack, which I did. You know, in the steam room when you do all the pipes to get the bridge across and to get to the other door, the boiler room.
Oh, the boiler room. Yes.
Yeah. There's one of the boiler switches is behind a ladder that you have to lift up. There's on the floor. It doesn't matter. If you just go to the side of that boiler, you can switch the boiler on anyway without the ladder moving.
You cheat.
I know. I just found that out randomly, but yeah, you can do that without moving the other ladder. There you go. There's a quick hack for those people out there.
There is.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. It only got a 5 for me because
that's fine. Don't be disingenuous.
But it was fun. It is fun. I'm still going to complete it. I've got codes to a safe that needs opening, and
come on! I still need
and a junction
codes.
box that needs to be worked out somehow, and I don't know what it does.
In an email. Oh, they sent it to baronisbest@gmail.com.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I still need to work things out, and and that's what makes it good, but not great.
I think so. All right.
So what do we score this bad boy then?
You mean this game, Blueprints, Indie Game of the Year at Game Awards 2025?
Wow, that's a prediction, but yeah, go on.
It is. It's gonna happen, mark my words. And it's gonna get a board game.
Oh yes, this game is screaming a board game. That's very true. Like, it really is. Definitely.
Our scores for the Blueprints, unfortunately, recently found out that all of their uncles died. And now they all, coincidentally, have the same uncle, need to fight for the one puzzle mansion. They get to the puzzle mansion and all of them try to get to the 69th room. But finally, after weeks of trial and error, one made it to room 69. And it's the letter grade rating of B-.
That's not too bad. So the 69th room, it's just... We're grown-ups, and that's just so funny to me still. I don't know why. Little caveman brains.
Yes.
The 69th
but it's a rating of B-, which is the same score we gave Stray. And I'm thinking, you know what? Yes, these games are good. This is a good game.
And I love that this came... I'm not sure if it was just me. This game kind of came out of nowhere. I know it was on...
Oh, absolutely.
Summer Game Fest or one of the trailer video show things. I don't remember the names. So it's not like it was unheard of, but then all of a sudden this was just free on PlayStation, and we were like, oh, okay, let's give it a go.
I never even heard of this game before it came free on PS Plus or included.
And it's doing great, and it is great. I love that idea. I love that somebody worked hard, kind of did it for 5 years, kind of in the shadows, and then just released a really solid game. It just proves that it can be done. And there are people out there doing it, and they should be rewarded for that fact.
If your concept is smart and interesting, and the gameplay can be addictive, then yes, it can.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see. It's great to see amongst all the other bullshit that there are still games being made by people who love it and are working hard and diligently and stuff like that.
Yes. It's just if you're listening to this, please, indie games is where it's at.
Oh, really is. There really is going to be a resurgence.
That's where the heart and soul of gaming's moved on to. It's not in the pockets of the executive suits at Sony or Microsoft or Activision or EA or Ubisoft even. No, it's not there anymore. Indie games.
Yep, no doubt. That's where it is. Keep supporting them. Who was it the other day? Was it EA? Or I always get them mixed up. Who's now fighting a case for... is it The Crew, I think it was?
That's Ubisoft.
Is that Ubisoft?
That's Ubisoft's game. It was a fully priced game, but because it was online, everyone who played it was dependent on Ubisoft servers, which
that's right.
11 years later, they shut down.
And they're trying now... That's right. And they're trying to throw out the case because that players shouldn't consider them owning the game in the first place. Despicable. And it's a licensing fee. Ooh,
absolutely despicable.
Sorry. Just that winds me up so much.
No, can we not just go back to the days of old where you buy your PS2 game and you play it on your PS2?
Yes, and it is yours because you purchased it. You purchased
50 years from now, we'll still be able to play our PS2 games on our
exactly
PS2s.
Right. On our PS2. Yeah, exactly right. Of course you will. Anyway, let's not go down that tangent.
Give us good games list.
Yes, please.
Anyway, thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you'd be so kind, you can subscribe, leave a review, or just tell your friends about Critical Arcade. Please, if you think you have a friend that might like listening to our show, share this episode, because this is a good episode.
That was a great random little 80s rap bit. Share. Like, I see you on the decks, just like...
Yes.
Okay.
It could be.
Sorry, I just saw it. I had an 80s flashback just through my head then, like Parappa the Rapper type feeling.
Ooh, speaking of, is that? No,
it's on the list.
No, it's not.
It is on the list.
Damn you list. Anyway,
it's coming.
So you could follow us there if you'd want more Critical Arcade. If you'd like more Dave, though, Dave, where can they follow you?
Well, I am out and about, but during my gameplay of the Blueprints, I have also learnt to randomly just draft rooms. So the next door you open might randomly turn into any room of my choosing, and my rooms aren't as delightful and whimsical as the rooms in Blueprints.
Oh no.
So my rooms may be a slaughterhouse in the wilds of China, or it could just be in a brothel on the outskirts of Russia. Depending on how you see such things, you may turn up anywhere, depending on which room I draft.
Or it could be the lavatory.
Depending whose lavatory. Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, good point. Depending whose lavatory. Don't follow Dave.
Don't follow Dave. I've got these new powers now.
Please.
By all means, test them out if you wish.
Rather not. Dave, how about instead of drafting a death room, tell us what have you got lined up for next week?
Next week's game, again, is a bit of a doozy. It's an old school one. I think I played a long time ago.
You must have. This is a Dave game.
This is a Dave game because it's old school. It's for the Game Boy Advance, which is, of course, a great console, one of my favorite consoles. And it's Star Wars The New Droid Army. Now, I know I played Star Wars games on my Game Boy Advance, so I'm pretty sure I played this.
Which means you might still have the cartridge.
Wow, I'd have to go exploring in my loft. Ooh. But yeah, I love old games. Even now, I get more enthralled by GBA games. There's just something fun about them. So I'm looking forward to this. I love old Game Boy games. And the more Nintendo is screwing up, the more I love going back to their old stuff. So yeah, this is going to be fun.
Makes absolute sense.
So yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it too.
It's going to be hard. Yeah, old Game Boy games are hard. They don't.
I'm looking forward to trying to fill an entire hour with it.
Yes, that's going to be difficult. That is no doubt going to be difficult.
Anyway, tune in next week if you want to see if we manage to talk 60 minutes about this Game Boy Advance Star Wars game. And we'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.